Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're going to talk about condo hotels, but it's what the people say. That's right. There's going to be some things that we're going to check out online where people are asking, hey, I'm going to buy into a condo hotel. What do you think? Yes, that's right. It's not just DR. It's not just Miami. It's everywhere. So we will go down the list. So stay tuned. This is very valuable information because this is a new program, or shall I say, a new marketing ploy is the way I look at it. Again, I'm no fan of condo hotels because if you want a 2%, 0%, 5% return on your investment, then you might as well just do straight stock market. I mean, there's no point, or just put it in a bank or put it in Wealthfront right now. 5% APY. And they manage your portfolio for you if you invest in their funds for free when you stay between $500 and $5,000. It's for free. Once it goes over $5,000, then you start paying the annual expense fee. That's how simple this is. The Wealthfront's down below. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, please share the videos because you know the YouTube gods, they don't know that you're watching. And sharing the videos also means other people may not know they have opportunities. Now, let's get into it further, shall we? We're going to the Stop Struggling Now YouTube channel page and the podcast page. I always point out members of the channel, courtesy of YouTube, that they show a few on the right hand side. There's also a join button over here on the right hand side. This is on the channel page. And you should know under the community tab, they receive 1 or 2 videos per month specifically for them from me. They are the only ones that can be in the chat room on the Wealthy Wednesday night live stream. Also, they're the only ones that can be on a live stream with me and discuss anything that they would want to because they have the link to get into the chat room. That's just for starters. All right, now let's get into the Q&A, shall we? Q&A. This is just by Googling what is the return on investment for condo hotels, and look at what they have here. The return on investment, ROI, for condo hotels can range from 2 to 7% per year. Now, but some say it can be as high as 5% or more, which is weird. But anyhow, a good ROI for a hotel investment. Notice they said hotel investment, not a condo hotel, but a hotel investment is 6 to 12% per year. However, what's considered a good rate can vary depending on the investor's strategy, location, and market conditions. For example, a return of 6 to 8% is generally considered decent, while 10% or more is considered excellent. Now, this is dealing with hotels and condo hotels, but the first sentence is about condo hotels, 2 to 7%. Well, you're about to find out that that may not even be a possibility, because let's see what people are saying over here. Let's go. I'm going to go into, this is Reddit. Here's a guy. This is 4 months ago, just so you know. It's in the real estate investing forum on Reddit. Anyone have experience in investing in condo hotels and high demand seasonal tourist locations? Think about it in your head right now. How many high demand tourist locations do you know of that is not seasonal? Think about it. There's places that go, okay, summertime, families, Orlando, but then Orlando kind of morphed into all year round because then they turned it into, where they have conventions and other type of shows, and that could bring people in, but it's not 365 days a year. There's really no location because of weather patterns. If you're talking about Gatlinburg area, all of a sudden people may think summer, but really fall when the leaves change is seriously. But the rest of the year, hardly anybody shows up. So there's all kind of different things. But anyhow, let's move on. Came across a deal in a where it seems the numbers make sense based on the list price. HOA payments, prior owner's annual gross from unit, and quoted 30% on-site hotel management. Look, again, when you're doing this, do not go by prior owner's annual gross from unit. Like I say, as for tax returns, I want you to pay the tax on. I want to see that's how much you're claiming with the IRS. It's that simple, and I want to see the actual 3 years worth of returns. I don't want to hear you're telling me. I want you to confirm it. I want to see the taxes more than anything. Was informed that other vacation rental management services may be lower than the 30% fee also. It seems most expenses are covered between HOA and management, amenities, utilities, repairs, etc. Any expenses you may think I'm not considering, there's several. Any helpful resources? Okay, so down below, let's see who responds to this. We have, it looks like quite a few people. In my experience, a condo hotel may require a non-warrantable loan, which means it can't be sold to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, so it's usually even higher interest rate and down payment than other investment or second property loans. This is something that I mentioned over the last 5-6 videos about this. Now, here's the solution, or one of them. Or you can buy it and refinance it into a non-traditional route, DSCR loan. Okay, that's an option. Next person says, I have a condo where the management fee is 50%. The HOA isn't significant, and I've ended up on the hook for things that guests or staff were clearly responsible for damaging. Its gross income last year was $35,000, but the net was $3,400 with a purchase price of $250K. Anybody care to know that's what, 1.5% return that year or last year? But here it is. But I also use it 3 or 4 times a year, 5 to 10K in savings, and let friends and family use it at a steep discount. If it weren't for that and the benefit of having a place I can use whenever I want, that's outfitted the way I want it, wouldn't be worth it to me. All right. Now, they're rationalizing spending $250,000, getting $3,400, even a 10% note would get them $25,000 a year if they invested simply in JEPI or JEPQ. That's about 9.5 to 10.5% depending on when you buy. And that's JP Morgan stuff. So that's pretty safe as far as I'm concerned. Then you can get into other things that they're missing altogether. But even if they would have left it in a treasury bill at 4%, $10,000. I mean, this makes 0 sense. But the reason I say it makes 0 sense is because the rationale. There's a lot of you watching this right now with this rationale. I also use it 3 or 4 times a year. What they're not mentioning is, since we don't know where this is, I can't look it up and tell you. But when their friends stay there, they may have to pay a fee. If they stay there, they may have to pay a fee. You just can't stay there. So he says 5 to 10K in savings. But I'm like, well, you can make 20K in savings and keep it liquid with the same $250,000. And that would have, you don't have to worry about savings. You would actually have the $250 liquid plus the money coming in every month or every 3 months or every 6 months. But the fact of the matter is, These are the things you think about as an investor. Here we go. I almost bought one of these with MGM in Las Vegas. The HOA was pretty high, and when I ran the numbers, if I had bought the unit straight up, I would only gain around 1,000 net a month if I was entered into the MGM's rental program. Of course, I could have rented privately on my own, but the deal still didn't feel right. And if you rent it privately on your own, you're not in the MGM, Signature MGM or MGM Grand suite of products for people to stay, which is much more powerful than you trying to do it through Airbnb and VRBO. So when people are looking for rental or to stay in Las Vegas, so that's one of those other things right there. Here's the people's comments. 1,000 cash flow sounds pretty good to me for a vacation home you put to use depending on the price. Were you expecting low value appreciation? Was that why? I don't understand his question. I'm just going to tell you right now, if you're going to get $1,000 net a month, that's pretty good. But when your HOA fees, depending on what unit they were looking at, $1,200 to $1,300 per month for a studio, $1,700 to $1,800 a month for a one bedroom. So this right here, and they just raised it 9% this year. So you're already going to net less than 1,000, take off about $190. So now they're netting 910. This is exactly what I'm talking about that people don't realize happens. Here we go. The owner is responsible for everything in the room, bed, appliances, TV, etc. And it has to be exact models, brands to match the looks as the other units. 1,000 net is the average depending on the month over 12 months. So months lower and some higher depends on holidays and tourists. Exactly. Again, it all depends on several factors that you might not get 1,000. You might have only had 50% occupancy this month instead of the signature 70. Now all of a sudden you're at $500. So this is the thing that you have to keep in mind. Let's keep it moving. Here goes somebody talking. I have done them in Panama City, Florida, and self-managed. Self-managed means lower price. The first thing I learned was be very skeptical of the numbers that the real estate agent or current owner offer. A good way to get the potential of a rental is look at VRBO and Airbnb for the building or area you are looking at. That should give you a pretty good idea what your potential might be. You didn't mention where this condo is, but if it's going to work out, you need an area that has pretty good year-around traffic. Exactly right. Good information. Good year-round traffic is Orlando, and poor year-round traffic might be the Jersey Shore. Exactly. I will add that if you are hiring a manager at 30% and have any sort of a mortgage, it's a wrap. It will probably be difficult to get any sort of positive cash flow. Exactly. It's a wrap. You won't. As far as expenses, you will probably have some sort of tourist tax, cleaning after every stay, washing and replacement of linens, towels, replacement of glassware, silverware, and all other kitchenware. Advertising and more frequent repair, replacement of pretty much everything in the unit. Look for buildings that have good on-site maintenance that can do most of your minor repairs, such as drains, sinks in a reasonable rate. The thing with some of these condo hotels is they give you a menu. It'll say, if you need these things, you call up our maintenance department. This is your fee. And no, nobody else can come in here and work on it. So you got to pay attention to these contracts. Is it affiliated with any chain? Is it a boutique? 30% seems standard if it's affiliated with loyalty programs. That's major as well. You want a chain if you do want to delve into this condo hotel. All right. So I'll keep it moving. This is going to be short and sweet because this is going to be one of the last ones. Hello, everyone. Are condo hotels good investments? Hello, everyone. I'm considering investing in so-called condo hotel in the Orlando, Kissimmee area. What's appealing to me is the hotel itself can manage the rentals as well as the possibility of visiting Orlando a few times a year. I live in Houston. Does anyone have experience with condo hotels who can advise me on this? What sort of information should I focus on as I approach the different offerings? I'm a newbie, by the way. Thanks so much. All right, here we go. I can speak for our area down here in Destin, Florida, and the Palms of Destin is one of those condo hotels that are great. They allow self-management and have so many amenities. Notice he says what I've been telling you guys for years. have so many amenities. It's a great short-term rental property that I recommend to many of the first-time investors because of how simple it is to manage. He doesn't mention his rate of return though, which is fine, but here we go. Another person says, if they manage for you, they usually take a pretty hefty bite of your nightly. 60K a year sounds like a lot until you subtract 45% and pay the mortgage, taxes, and HOA with what's left. Also, some that do allow self-management do not allow your guests access to all amenities. See, all these little twists and turns, it all depends on what your condo hotel or condotel is trying to do. Basically, run your numbers, read the fine print carefully. All great advice. This is why I wanted to go see and show you guys what other people are saying. Call it whatever you want. It's a condo that is rented for different lengths of time. There will be management fees. They will not be cheap. And they will increase over time, just like your HOAs. Exactly, both do. You should do the math and go in with eyes wide open. I don't think it's a good idea for a new investor because you don't know enough to ask the right questions and protect yourself. Exactly. That's why I'm making this video, Nathan Giesner. Exactly, man. Because people don't know all the pitfalls. They're thinking, oh, they said they're going to get me 10% annually and I can stay in it. And then the next thing you know, wait, you can only stay in it for 30 days. And what happens after? Oh, you got to pay nightly, just like everybody else. We'll give you a discount, though. What about my friends? Oh, they got to pay, too. We'll give them a discount as well. We can't let the place sit empty and let them stay for free. You don't really own this thing. They don't say that part, though. And so I just love it that he gets into it. Here goes another person. Definitely don't use the on-site management. As others have stated, they will take 40 to 50% of your gross revenue. That is not an investment. In Myrtle Beach, we help people get units in condotels all the time. If you self-manage or get a good management, I guess that's management company, it can be a good investment. Just know that the financing requirements for condotels is different than regular homes. Most banks will not lend on condotels. I recommend finding a good agent who knows the ins and outs of the area and specializes in condotels for investment purposes. Good luck. Here we go again. Bruno from Sean McCormick. I will echo the sentiments of those who posted before me. I have helped a few clients analyze some of these and the numbers never work. Unless you plan to get a lot of use out of it and really just want it to pay for itself, it will likely not be an investment, but a write-off. Most in Orlando that I know of allow guests access to amenities. If you self-manage, you will have to charge them a daily resort fee. And to me, that is nickel and diming your guests. No matter how many times you tell them it's extra, you'll get a bad review saying we couldn't use the pool unless we paid XXX, and that will look bad on you. There are several other resort communities with regular condos and have great amenities that I would suggest before going down this road. Another person from the Orlando area saying the same thing. If you are planning on financing, at Michael Wiggum has hit the nail on the head. Exactly. Condotels are not a popular item to lend on for most lenders. Most lenders will want 30% or more down payment on them. They are very few I know of who will do 25% down. Whereas non-warrantable condos are much better received by lenders. Be prepared for a condo review requirement from the lender as well. I know of only one who does not require a review at all. Be aware of the ins and outs of the lending side with these property types. You may want to speak with the mortgage broker who can advise you on financing side. You don't run into any unexpected surprises later down the road. Again, is this enough for you, ladies and gentlemen? It is likely, Bruno, it is unlikely to pencil in your favor. I rented a gorgeous 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhouse in Orlando, Davenport, $100 a night in off-season, walking distance to restaurants, grocery, and maybe 15 minutes to the park. I saw the owner had paid about $200K for it a few years ago, and the current zestimate was about $250K. I'm positive the owner managed it himself with just hiring a cleaning crew to come check it. I think you may be happier with something like this than a condotel. I always ask myself, okay, why is the owner selling? Also, Often, condos have higher property taxes, sometimes double, especially in Florida, than if you bought an equivalent fraction of an apartment building jointly with other investors. Fractional, yeah, not a bad idea. Condotels are set up for the sponsor to make the same profit as if they own the property without the capital investment. Guess who is supporting their vastly increased LOI? There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is one of my cons. This is the way I look at it exactly. Condotels are set up for the sponsor to make the same profit as if they own the property without the capital investment. You are their mark because you are paying to build that unit in the building. After you have paid to build the unit, you have no control. What does that sound like? That doesn't sound like an investment to me. All right, condotels scare me. I am currently fighting in Orange Beach, Alabama, because they want to call the condo there a condo hotel. Okay, Orange Beach, Alabama. Yes, I know what they're even talking about here. They rearranged that property. I know all about this. This is interesting. But here's what he says. Now, notice he says they now call it a condotel. This property was not a condotel before. It was a condo. So that is the thing that is crazy. All right, here's my problems with the condotel. One, the condo is non-warrantable. That means I have to sell to another investor, cash, or some other portfolio loan. I will not be able to sell to any government-backed loan, which severely limits my buyer pool. It's typically 30% down for a condotel, and they really destroy my cash-on-cash return. If you run it for you, that 25% off the top is going to destroy your profits. It's already hard in the market with the DSCR loan at 7%. Remember that 0, as I call it, 2% to 7%, which is really 0 to 7%. Yeah, if you have a 7% loan and all you make is 7% or less, you're breaking even. Why are we going down the path in the first place? Let's see, we got one more. I'm a realtor in the Orlando area and vacation homes is my specialty. I personally own about 8 short-term rentals near Disney. Okay, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to go any further into this. You can see this for all that you can see for yourself. I wanted you to see what other people are putting down where they actually own at these condotels. You own in Orlando. You own in Las Vegas. Those are some of the most highly respected tourist areas in the United States. And that's what they're saying there. Can you imagine getting 75% rentals and they're still talking about 0 to 7%? Or heaven forbid, negative? That ought to make you think. Like I said, it makes me think, but if you're happy with a 0 to 7% on average return year after year, then go for it. You might want to set yourself up for things like that. But me personally, I don't see how that works for hardly anybody in the long run. And when you resell it, like many of these people said, you can't just resell it to anybody. It has to be to a person that can put 30% down, has to be to a person that is not going to get a traditional loan, such as an FHA or Fannie Mae, anything like that. So you can't use regular loans. So again, you're going to have to go to a higher interest rate, which now means it's going to be worth it at the purchase price to get the return that you need. And when you buy real estate, it's all about, if you're winning before you purchase it. You're not supposed to guess. You can only guess when it's obvious. If I spin an example, since we've been talking about Dominican Republic a lot, but if I all of a sudden wake up and I say, you know what, I'm just going to buy a 2-bedroom unit for 400 G's at this location, I better damn well know what the going rate is this year and anticipate about a 10 to 15% increase next year and next year after that. If I can't get down to where I'm making more than 10%, then what are you even doing? Because again, I mentioned JEPI, JEPQ ETFs, which keeps you around 9.5 to 10.5%, depending on what their stock price is when you buy. But there's other things that can make you more. Those are real estate investment trusts. So if interest rates go down, that's one of the ways that you do it. So I'll end it there. And with all that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And I know it's hard out here. And that's why your investment dollars, where you have to get a return on your investment going forward, is going to be very serious. If you put yourself in a situation where you have no return on your investments, down the line, the cost of living is going to be more. There's no way to stop it. All right? Everything has already been put into the chute, so to speak. There's no way to stop it. Unless America stops printing money out of thin air and does some other things like tax all the people the same rate, then you're going to start having things reverse. But that's not a thing. We have a capitalist system, and we have oligarchs in the system that can mess with the government employees, meaning our people we vote for. They can be easily swayed because they can get unlimited money sent to them by those who have money. So just keep all these things in your head, because you're going to have to make more money over the next 2-3 years. There's no way around it. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.